Well, hello guys, Sending again. So, we have had this patch 4.4 out for a couple days now, and I figured I'd make a small video of just kind of like going through the changes and where I think the game will kind of like go from here. Since I think there was quite a few changes. I think my first impression when the patch came out was, okay, not a lot of changed, but after playing a couple scrims, I do think couple things are fairly different. So I think I'm just gonna go through the patch notes and kind of like pick what I think is the most impactful at the moment. The first I was shoutouts to Kelp Dome change, and if it's in rotation, if I can show it. No, it's not, but changes are good. Nothing earth breaking or anything like that, but I think good changes. I think consistently the changes they make to the maps are good. So all the good change. Always nice to see since Galpton was one of the more, well, less fun maps for me at least personally. But yeah, I think a really big one that many shooters got, just to get to the actual changes of the patch, was shooters gaining less. So how it's worded in the patch is decreased amount of time after pressing ZR on the first shot is fired when it's without from by roughly 2 frames, or there was different amount of frames for different weapons, but what it basically means is that you get shot faster when you are hopping out of aim. And I think this actually is gonna be a quite nice buff for shooters in the long run. So even some weapons are like, quite fast at this now. So, I don't think it's gonna make Sploos meta, unfortunately. I'm sorry, my Sploos fans, but stuff like D-Tech, if you have a good reaction, this is gonna help you to strafe a bit faster and increase your overall survivability, I think. Since the weapon previously didn't have so much things over Embers, maybe. So now you have at least this sort of quite a fast strafing. I think it feels quite nice. I know Ursa likes it, and I don't know. I think in the long run we could see maybe a bit more shooters, not just D-Techs, maybe also Splasho would be one. I'm also playing Custom Chat Squadster. Just quality of life improvements mainly, but also it really helps in some situations that you get those shots out a bit faster after repositioning like this. I mean, 2 frames overall doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get into it, it actually is quite a bit. And there was a lot of this. Basically, almost every shooter got at least 1 frame of the lag before you can shoot, so that's really nice to see. L3, and I think I should also talk about the hammer changes in this part. But L3 now paints you feet, which was a long time requested by non-free players, I understand, because previously when you shoot, it didn't actually paint you feet, so that is actually super annoying. Think about if you're in a firefight and you start like shooting and it doesn't paint you feet, then you constantly take damage and you don't have any mobility. So now when you shoot, you always in your own feet. That actually is pretty huge for the weapon, I think. Like again, these changes don't sound big, but in reality, it's gonna like do a lot for you to playing this weapon. And another thing, hammer got quite a few changes. So just so I don't forget any. Well, basically this thing increased the overall mobility of it, which is making it easier to chase down enemies and making it harder for them to avoid your hammer. It also made it so that when you are swinging, it also protects you from the side. Shockwave also extends to the side, and also it's dealing 40 damage now instead of 30 if you don't get a direct hit. So overall, I think nice stuff for hammer. I think I said this before, but I think hammer has potential to be the best laying special even. I know this is like a lot to take in, but I think with hammer the main problem is right now twofold. First is that the hammer is quite hard to pick up and do well with. Like you have hammer and it's not like something like a baller. It's pretty straightforward though. Of course there's a lot of depth to how to use baller, but mainly for a hammer I think this is so much to take in how you're supposed to play it. Like I think many players, so I made a whole video about this, right? Players are like, oh, hammer is so bad, they should be down. But really, I think when you learn all the mix-up options and you learn that you should be a bit more sneaky with it, and now with the increased mobility options, I think hammer is gonna be pretty crazy in the end. Of course, the other limiting factor is that it's only on L3, Octobras, as well as Gensamini, so those are not like the most meta weapons or the weapons most people play, but you know, especially when Shadow Speaks come out, I would predict we get some more hammer weapons, so I think there's gonna be some hammer slash stamp in our future with these changes. As well as we had the change to Booyah Bomb. I think the Booyah Bomb changes weren't as significant in the end. So, but mainly I think 52 is something you consider here, since 52 also got the same kind of shooter buff that we got earlier, which is nice for it, but still the Iron Sea with it is pretty disgusting, which is heavily limiting the weapon, unfortunately. But Booyah Bomb, yeah, it's a bit more survivable. You can basically use it more of a panic button now, without getting punished so heavily. And yeah, basically, this is more situations where you survive, since it's gonna paint your feet and you're gonna have a bit more invisibility when you land, and it's also expanding a bit faster, so easy to get kills. Overall, I think this is nice stuff for Booyah Bomb, but it's kind of like the same situation as with Hammer, where not so many good weapons have it. So even if the special itself is not the worst ever, it's just not you know, the choice you would more often make. But actually, if you want to play 52, I think if you're not throwing at this now, it's really nice. Like it's nice on some maps, and you know, it's nice not to be able to, or not be able to not die so easily when you are actually throwing your Booyah Bomb and like following up on that situation. So I'd say Hammer definitely got the bigger buffs, but you know, Booyah Bomb also some good stuff. And then the missile launches 50 frames faster, yeah, Nintendo, okay, nice. I don't think I have to say anything about that, okay, they launch even faster now. Oh, that's great, but you know, if you played missiles before, then go for it. If you didn't play them, I don't know if this is chart now. I should say overall, I think missiles are underrated. Like on some maps, they are quite nice, but yeah, that's some buff they've been doing for like 10 patches now. So okay, I'm happy for them, but that's not good. Okay, this is actually a bit big one. E-liter actually paints like crazy now. So let's get some main power up so I can actually demonstrate what I mean. Some people are saying, "Oh my god, E-liter is defining backline now." Okay, I don't think so. Let's not go that crazy. But I think on some maps it's gonna be quite nice just how ridiculous the painting is when you are stacking that main power up. Which is, I think, pretty interesting buff to it. Like I've been telling Brian to play it now, and yeah, he wants to play it. But you can see, like, this is like crazy, like thick, you know, line of ink. And think about this, combine this with the fact that the E-liter is already getting Cloud and Bubbles into 170 points. You're gonna be farming specials all day and painting the whole map if you can hit your shots, which is of course the limiting factor of the weapon as with all chargers. But you know, having this kind of painting with main power up is kind of insane in my opinion. But I think it's nice for it. Now it has something going for it. Say something like Manta Mari, I could definitely see E-liter being a really good pick for it, for the map. So nice to see that they have something in mind for E-liter at least. And Spatlordies, Tetras now are a bit harder to hit when you are not rolling. So basically, I don't know how you can change. This is, as far as I understood, it's not that significant, but you can feel it at least. So you know, they're trying to make it a bit worse. I guess that's fair. I think this is referring to the fact that if shooting like this, the hitbox of the shot is a bit smaller. I wasn't quite sure about this, but I'd say this wasn't that significant. And yeah, the last main weapon change, Ballpoint joined the G30 Cup. Previously where D-Deck was residing, and now Ballpoint Novao is G30. Okay, well, that's interesting. I personally wouldn't have done that, but Nintendo decided that they want to get rid of double Ballpoint. It's definitely an efficient way to do it, so it's G30 now. But I should say this, I think Ballpoint is still a high tier. The other nerf being that it's now dealing you know, short range shots from 32 to 28, and longer range shots from 32 to 30. So, you know, a little less damage for it, and you can no longer reach the 3.3 damage per shot, which you could previously do with a power up. But I think it's still quite nice weapon, and you can really like paint the whole map easily which is, you know, even when you got the 230, it's still like painting like crazy, and of course they do nothing with the mobility of it. So I think that's pretty. It's fair now. It's fair. I'll get a 230 was okay. Maybe Nintendo don't need to do my man Ballpoint quite like that, but it's still fair. It's still, I think, high tier, just not top tier run 2 of these or throwing. So it's nice. It's good changes. I think it's good changes. And just lastly, I think I should talk about this thing right here. Okay, H3 also got 10 points more to armor. Again, I don't think it's really like something. Maybe Ken's on the cover will be more of a. It will be even better choice than was previously compared to H3 on some more contained maps where torpedoes good. But 230, 210, I think mainly it's just trying to discourage people from running 2 H3s, which is fair. I don't think it's like a bad nerf to it or anything, but you know, it's still when the QCB still has the 180, it's kind of like nice contrast now, so it's a fair change, I think, but you know, probably doesn't do much to H3 in this patch after all. And lastly, we are talking about this small thing when I can find it. You may have heard of her. I know I have heard of her, I've been played with her quite a bit. Okay. Please. There's too many weapons, and think about it, they're even adding 10 more with the Sheldon's Peak. Oh my god, there's gonna be so many weapons. But this weapon right here, so it got 20 points more splashdown, yeah, that's correct. So okay, fair enough. But you know, this hitbox, Nintendo, what is this? What is this hitbox? So as Mike has been playing Machine more than anyone in the West, I'm pretty sure I can say that. And even he thinks the hitbox is broken, like, come on. What is this? And there's no, like, the damage is the same, so that's you didn't even pretend to you trying to hit them. So I think next patch we're gonna see some reduction to the hitbox, if I'm not completely mistaken, but the splashdown nerf is a good first step forward. Like, I don't think it's like an insignificant nerf like some people indicate. They say like splashdown is useless, no it's not, where you been, splashdown is actually good now. You can count it bubbles, you give quite a bit of options, so not having it up as often is gonna impact the weapon, of course, but I think it's gonna be the definitive slaying weapon for this patch, but like kind of like more like midline leaning towards slaying weapon. But yeah, I don't know. I usually have pretty good nerf senses, and I think this weapon is gonna be hit with some kind of nerf hammer next patch. Fizz itself, I don't think Fizz itself is so broken. You know, no one's playing Kensa, Luna, and Kluga, so how is Fizz broken? I don't know. But yeah, that's basically my patch impressions of that. I think this is gonna be a good patch. I think there's gonna be new stuff, such as E-Liter is gonna make an appearance. I think stamp weapons are gonna come in hard. I think that's gonna be the two defining factors, as well as this thing, because come on, this is just ridiculous. But anyway, let me tell you, let me know what you think about the patch, and yeah, I just thought that this kind of video would be topical since the patch just came out. And I should warn, because I know some people even comment on my videos like 6 months after I release them and say like, okay, this is pretty funny. Like some guy commented on my Duali video from Deathfire saying that my gameplay is Carpaccio. Like, dude, when you're watching the video, check the date. Like, if you're watching this video like, I don't know, 2020, then maybe this information isn't correct anymore. But what I was trying to say is that I do two scrims. So this is my early impressions, right? I'm not saying that this is the final truth, because we have to scrim this patch, we have to kind of like get a feeling of what's gonna work and what doesn't, and in the end, it's gonna be, you know, kind of like this trial and error. Like, it's more like my experience with the game is telling me these things that I said in this video, as well as some early impressions. But things are gonna be changing when we learn better about the patch. But yep, let me know what you think, and as always, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video at least, and hope you like the Fire Emblem music as well.